Okay. All right. So this is the class on meditation. A lot of people were interested in how to tap into their abilities, tap into their intuition, get more grounded, raise your vibrations. This is one of the first basic tools. And you guys may know how to meditate, but this will maybe help you guys narrow down your best form and ways, and I can maybe give you guys some incentive. And I think, yeah. All right. So the type of learners we are is going to be important in general because we are training our brains. So I'm asking this not for the meditation part, but because meditation has a lot to do with us training our thought processes, which ultimately control our feelings, right? Um, and a whole bunch of other things. Lauren, do you know what kind of learner you are, love?
Yes, I'm a visual and hands-on learner.
Okay. I'm using a different keyboard and it always messes me up. And what do they call that hands-on? Is it kinetic? Just wait. It is kinetic.
Right? Kinetic. Mm-hmm.
Kinetic. Okay. Raven, I haven't heard you. Are you there? Are you able to speak? Let's see, is she in here? Yeah, I see you in here, Raven. Let me know if you are able to speak. Let me shoot you. All right. So while we wait for Raven to tell us what kind of learner she is, we'll keep moving. Boundaries. So when I'm saying boundaries, right, I'm specifically talking about fears, doubts. What keeps you from meditating? Or are you meditating and not really achieving those things? I'll be honest and include myself here. For me though, it's really about consistency, routine. Those are my biggest issues with it. Right now, the biggest routine that I keep with my meditation is when I wake up and when I go to bed. Those are two things I can't avoid. And I'm not a person that falls asleep. I go to sleep on purpose. So those are my boundaries that I will be working on moving forward. Anybody else want to share? You don't have to, but if you're willing to or want to, feel free.
Yeah, I agree with you about the routine, just making sure that it's consistent and just the time. I'm not disciplined with time management.
Who's that speaking?
Demaria.
So you said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency, routine. Well, you said time management.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's pretty much the same thing you just said.
Lauren, you feel like sharing? What stops you?
It's pretty much the same thing, like getting into the routine of doing things. Okay. And my attention span is so short.
And what is social work?
My attention span.
Oh, let's throw that in there. Oh, there's Penelope. Hey, Penelope.
Hi.
I'll turn my camera off for a second. I'll turn it on so I can say hi to you guys.
I'm so sorry, by the way. It's my phone. I clicked update by mistake. I hate updating it. Sorry.
It's okay. How you doing? Hi, Sanaya. She's watching today. All right. So we just started. And it's a bit interactive because I think the biggest part of teaching is knowing what you guys struggle with. It doesn't make sense just to give you information. So I'll run back up in a minute, but I'll be asking you in a second what kind of learner you are. And we were adding on one thing. I'm turning my video off. Okay. And what was the last thing we said? Short attention span. Oh, I love that one. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because there are two types that I'm going to be teaching y'all. I can only teach you guys the things that I've practiced and I feel like have worked for me. I do, of course, I can lead you guys in the direction of what other people have said and things I've read, but you guys are drawn to me. I want you guys to know what I'm doing. And that short attention span is exactly why there are two types of meditation I'm talking about during this class. Sorry, did that already. All right, Penelope, what kind of learner are you?
I think I'm a bit of a visual / do it, if that makes sense.
Okay, so that makes sense because you do, you get video readings, which means you like to see. And you said kinetic, which is the hands-on. All right, Raven didn't. All right. So what are your current boundaries? Wait, we missing someone? Nope. Penelope, what are your current boundaries? What stops you from meditating right now?
Honestly, I'm such an anxious person and I wouldn't know where to start, and I wouldn't know if I'd be comfortable with it. I don't know if I'd be able to calm myself. Plus, I'm on my own all the time with her, so it's a little bit difficult.
So for you, it's more about lack of focus, the short attention span?
I wouldn't say I've got short attention span, but yeah, I would say lack of focus and high anxiety, and I don't know how to bring myself down.
The anxiety.
I'm anxious now.
Well, do you get anxiety thinking about meditation?
No, I was anxious too. It was a class and it's just something different, so I was a bit anxious.
Okay. So yeah, so technically yes. Which ultimately probably means you get anxious about a lot of things. All right. Well, I'm hoping for everything that you guys mentioned, right? Consistency and time management. The advice that I'm gonna give you guys about that is it's really to start with the morning, at least bedtime. And I don't know if you guys go to bed, like when I say go to bed, right? It's like when your night is ended and you shut everything down. I notice some people like to sleep with TV on or music. Whatever that is for you, I suggest not to go to sleep with TV on and music too much because your brain does need the rest. You will consume the things that your brain hears while you're asleep. You'll wake up and you'll be more anxious than if you went to sleep in a quiet space. So I would suggest to set up a routine for bedtime. Bedtime is something we cannot avoid, like we can't. So if you attach it to something we're going to do definitely, then, I think that it'll help us with that. That's what I've been doing in this time. And to add on one more thing for me is I add one time in a day affirmation, mirror talk, which means that now I'm tapping into grounding myself 3 times a day. When I wake up, open my eyes, thank God, I'm appreciative. I kind of set myself off for the day. And then in the evening. So that's what I do for that. The short attention span. Oh, how are we going to address that? Is mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation, you guys can be doing right now. You guys are on a phone, we're not in person. So I don't really have your full attention. You guys have other things around you that you are blocking out in this current moment to give me your focus. You're doing mindfulness meditation. So I want to give you guys some cues and clues on how to do that purposefully and other aspects too. What type of, so they kind of, I tapped into what type of meditation class. So it's focused meditation that we're talking about and mindfulness. So when you guys want to look more into what we're discussing, or if just so you're knowledgeable about what it is we're talking about. And I wanted to ask this question because it is very important to me. Your belief system, I'm not going to put up here what your belief system is, but I'm going to put that it's important for you guys to have it because that's what you're going to use to guide you through this meditation. I know that some of us are new to spirituality and things like that, but I heavily suggest that you guys keep a part of your foundation of who you are as a human being, because your good qualities are also a part of your belief system before you found spirituality or whatever it is. So for me, you guys know, for mostly I believe in God, and that's the most important thing, It's a positive spirit in us all. I believe that God is love. When it comes to meditation, that is the focal point of everything. Um, so for me, positivity. While you are meditating, positivity, I would suggest that you guys can pick that for yourself too. Just keeping positivity as your focal point, no matter what thoughts cross your mind. When we get into how you can redirect them, you guys are going to see that the one thing I'm going to keep pushing you back towards is positivity, because that's what's worked for me. The way that we think for ourselves definitely affects the way that we behave. And let's see, can I leave out of here? I need to share. Okay. Yep, it's up there. Let me make it a little bit bigger for y'all on the phone. Oh no, come back. All right. Okay. All right, meditation. What is the practice? Oh, I'm sorry. What is meditation? Meditation is the practice of managing your thinking. Meditation aids us in reaching a state of relaxation. Meditation can lead to alignment with our higher selves, allowing our mind, bodies, and spirit. Oh, no, excuse me, allowing our mind and bodies to be more susceptible to controlling our thoughts and easily calming our spirit throughout our days. Our aura, energy, mood, and emotional state are heavily controlled by our thinking. So there are two types of meditation we'll discuss in this class. I already mentioned the first one is focus meditation. I think this is the most common one that people talk about, practice. This is the one that everybody thinks is the only type of meditation that there is. I do think that this is important, but I don't think that it's 100% necessary and necessary all the time. I do feel like when things are extremely stressful, I don't know if you guys get to a space where you're overwhelmed and your bodies can't move. When I get to that space, I know that I've gone too long without doing this kind of meditation. So one thing that I want to kind of give you guys to take with you for this is one thing or nothing, focus. Clearly can't be multiple things. I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you guys advice about how to create a visual space for you to create your Zen. I still want the focal point, the one thing, to be positivity. So when we start creating this space, this visual space, most of you are visual learners. It's a visual space that I'll help you guys create for your meditation. And throughout it all, we're going to stay focused on one thing, no matter what we see in our visual effects. That one thing will be positivity, love, light, positive. All right. So first, I said one thing or nothing because when I said it to other people, they repeated this back to me as what was helpful for them. So that's why I said it to you guys. First, create a safe space for you to have inner peace. This can be in your bedroom, your car, the bathroom. If you even have a big enough closet, I say closet because some places people do have really large closets. Don't go in there if it's too tight, if it's too small. I know that some of us live alone and this is easy and some of us don't. So if you live alone, finding your inner peace may be a breeze. But if you do not live alone, you have to get creative. You owe it to yourself and to your peaceful space to get creative. At least once a day, but preferably twice a day, morning and night. Create your Zen with music if you need. If you would like to have music, white noise is a great way to start. I started off with white noise. I didn't start off with guided. I was heavily affected by other people's energy. So listening to guided meant that I was worried about feeling the energy of the person. I don't know where you guys are with that. If you're comfortable with it, then you can. But I started off with white noise because white noise is just, I don't know if you guys can even hear my fan is running. That's white noise. It's that noise, that air conditioner running, just that sound, that white noise on the TV, old school TVs. It helps block out thoughts. It takes complete control of that's why we were so annoyed with it, right? So, guided meditation is also helpful. I now use guided. I use guided. I like affirmations and things like that. I can give you guys information on that. Guided meditation should be chosen by the comfortability level with their voice, which is what I said. Don't pick someone whose voice doesn't sit well with you. I think that's important. Respect your spirit. If your spirit is like, I'm not comfortable about this energy, respect it. Next is you may position your body to sit upright. You can sit. I'm going to turn my camera on for a minute. I kind of want to. You guys can sit. However, you guys can sit. However, you can lay down. When I mentioned when I go to bed, I'm laying down. I'm laying down on my back. They suggest, and I do too, to not intertwine your body. But don't cross your legs, don't cross your hands. Keep your body straight, flat, keep your spine straight. I look at the ceiling and I talk to God out of my back. So I want you guys to get, like I said, creative. You don't have to be one particular way you do meditation. Let's close this. If you choose to sit, sit with your back upright in a chair, legs straight, unfolded, with your feet planted flat. Your hands can be in your lap upright. Your eyes should be closed. Especially everybody here. You guys all said your visuals. So be respectful of spirit. Now that you're aware, you're a visual learner. That means you probably should be blocking out all visual effects when you're trying to focus. Feet flat on the ground, like just flat, just really flat. Your hands, you can do, there's several poses. You guys know for the chakras, there is one for everyone. I honestly just keep this pose, which I believe is the root, but this is just what I'm comfortable doing. So like I said, get creative and do what fits for you. Breathing. I'll say that in the beginning, breathing is the hardest, but it's important. And whenever everything else fails, let's say I give you guys pointers on how to redirect your thoughts when you drift. If I give you pointers on how to make it a positive thought so it doesn't feel uncomfortable. When all of this fails, if nothing else works, you're breathing. When you are in high anxiety situations, if you can't do anything else, breathing helps. Besides, I don't know if you guys know why physically breathing helps, but forcing yourself to take in more oxygen helps the flow of oxygen to your brain. And therefore, when it's time to make a decision, it's not a stressed out, barely breathing properly, oxygen low brain that's making a decision. It's really a thing. So the breathing is really important throughout your meditation. I'm not going to tell you guys to count every breath throughout your meditation, but in the beginning, set your tone. You choose to set your tone, do your breathing. That's what I do on live. I don't know if you guys saw it, but breathing out, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, in throughout the whole 3 seconds, and out, 1, 2, 3, the whole 3 seconds out. If you guys have deep breaths, you can do 4, you can do 5. Like I said, your comfortability is important. So, okay. So breathing, let me keep reading. This is a pivot point throughout meditation. Take in slow deep breaths, counting to 3. Breathe out just as slowly, counting to 3. While breathing, focus on taking in all positivity, releasing all negativity. Allow negative thoughts and feelings to flow right. I wrote down something that's better to say than breathe in positivity and breathe out negativity. I'll tell you why, because negativity is a negative word. And so I have spoken about this before and using that, but I wrote down something that I've been using. Breathe in calmness, breathe out peace. Breathe out peace, breathe in calmness. And before I go to the next part, does anybody have any questions? Okay. Here comes to me the most common problem in us all, especially since we all mentioned focal problems. Losing focus. Losing focus will happen. It will happen. Even those who are super experienced at doing meditation still struggle with losing focus. All right. If you are a beginner, it may take some time for you to adjust, managing your thoughts. There are two ways I suggest to manage when you lose focus. One thing you should do when recognizing that you have lost focus is forgive yourself. I think most of us in here struggle probably with some self-sabotage, some negative thinking, maybe some frustration. If it's your fourth time breaking focus and you've only been meditating for 60 seconds, you might start to say, oh my goodness, what's wrong today? I want you guys to forgive yourself. There's really no point in being upset with yourself. It's not going to help you at any cost. Forgive yourself. It may take 4 days of not being able to meditate of longer than 2 minutes. It might take 2 weeks of not being able to meditate more than 2 minutes. So having patience and forgive yourself. There's absolutely no self-sabotaging during meditation. No self-sabotaging. That's the negative. I can't do this. It's just not for me. It's not going to work. It's never worked for me. Those are all self-sabotaging thoughts that I fought for a long time before I actually was able to meditate. So that's why I even brought them out. You are human and it is okay. There are mindful practices that you can rehearse to help manage the self-sabotage. One of them is the mindfulness meditation. That's what I keep talking about. This can be done while you're on a phone. You can be talking to a friend and they need your focus, and you keep thinking about the flowers that you want to go buy that you saw, or the dress that you really want. You are breaking focus. During mid-conversation, you can use this. Redirect your thoughts. Okay, so the obvious way is redirect yourself back to the conversation. The catch is, like I said, the first step is forgiving yourself. So every time you redirect yourself, forgive yourself. If that takes 10 times during a conversation, it's okay. Redirect yourself. You guys watch me be absent-minded a lot. I'll tell you now that I noticed that during conversation, I don't lose focus as much. I've gotten much, much better because I've forgiven myself. It took a long time, a lot of self-awareness. So I'm going to say that same thing for y'all. Redirect your thoughts. When you have a break in focus, change the direction of that thought. For example, what was my example? Hold on. For example, if your thought that made you lose focus is an argument you had with your lover, redirect that thought to end in a positive way. I'm going to tell you why I said in a positive way. You may be in the middle of a breakup. You may be stressed. It may be many of things that you can think about. One thing is we're not going to address your love life in the middle of meditation. So we will redirect to a positive thing. I gave you guys some examples. The thought was, oh, Jason ignored me this morning when I said I wasn't feeling well. Let's say that's the thought. You're in middle meditation and you're like, why was he ignoring me this morning? Why didn't he answer me when I asked him that question? I know that this happens for me. It could happen for you guys. So that can be redirected too. All right. When you get the thought, Jason ignored me this morning when I said I wasn't feeling well, but it's my health and it's my own responsibility. I will manage it. You see how I've taken that whole thought and made it positive. No blaming, no placing blame. That's just not a part of grounding ourselves. Grounding ourselves is taking accountability. Realistically, any relationship we're in is our own decision and choice. Any relationship. If anybody here is being held against their will, then they may be able to say it. Other than that, we are choosing the people we are with. And so bring that right back to you, but with positivity. I'll manage it. I got this. Replacing your thoughts. When you have a break in focus, replace the entire thought with something positive. For example, if your thought was the same, you could redirect the thought to, Jason ignored me this morning when I said I wasn't feeling well, to, my heart is beating, I'm full of life, and our son's smile is beautiful. Given the idea that you guys have a child together. Let's say you don't. You can take your child or whatever brings you a happiness when you see it, maybe your grandmother's face. You guys are visual learners, so we're going to use what we know we're good at to train our brain to change the thinking. So put a positive thought. I definitely think of my son's smile. I think of my son's smile, and often I do think of flowers. I love flowers. They just light up my little spirit. So I think of those two things. My favorite color flowers, or a variety of colors, just something that just breathes positivity into me. Which will change your thought. So repetition. Repeat, 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 repeat. These thoughts, you may have the same thoughts over and over. When you do, keep replacing those thoughts. I would say with the same thing. So if you thought of your child's smile, if you thought of flowers, whatever it was that you thought of, keep putting those positive thoughts that you know bring you happiness into your mind. Everything we learn as human beings is from repetition. Repeat, repeat, repeat. You may have several breaks in focus during meditation for the first 3 weeks of practice. That's normal. Find what works for you. It's really throughout the duration of meditation. But the first 3 weeks are the most roughest because you are a little bit in disbelief. You think it may not work for you or whatever. Break through those thoughts. Next. Now, this is on a spiritual tip, added spiritual essence. We are earthlings, beings of this earth, and bringing the earth closer to us when we are trying to ground ourselves it can be beneficial. So y'all know the 4 elements here: fire, water, earth, and air. Burning a candle is fire. Holy water, moon water, Florida water is the water. Your breathing is the air. And earth is sage, palo santo, so any other natural herbs and oils that you may use. Realistically, water can be too, because it is earth as well. All right. Think of meditation as a tool that links and connects our mind, body, and soul to calmness. I already kind of explained that. I don't need to break that down. Now, the rest of this, I want to lightly skim over, but you guys will all get a copy of this. Does anybody have any questions now? Relationship with yourself. I think that this was really important. A lot of the times, people are coming to me for readings, and I'm redirecting you guys to focusing on yourself, your relationship with yourself. Meditation, one of the things that can, help you. Does somebody unmute?
Oh, I took myself off. My son had busted in my room.
Okay. All right. Now, I mentioned earlier, well, you guys all said that you're visual learners, so you can take this exercise, you can create your own, you can edit it. This is a space that I often take myself to, not every time, but often, because I'm a visual person. This is the finest, secluded, a quiet place. Listen, if you guys can't, I wanted to mention, if you guys cannot get to a quiet or secluded place, well, besides people like Penelope, you can't do this with the baby. But for those of you who maybe have older children, or put on headphones. They blast them out, but make it so your focal point is closer to you and those are on the outside, Headphones is a great way when you have other people. And logically, find a way, you guys have children or people that live with you. Talk to them. I know a baby is not going to listen, but if you know that there's an activity that your baby may do for 10 or 15 minutes where you can see her and she's safe, take advantage of those every time. If the people in your house, I think be vocal, guys. Just, listen, I need a few minutes to myself. I need don't knock on the door for 10 minutes. Give me a few minutes. You don't need a crazy amount of time. I tell people 10 to 15 minutes. I generally meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. I usually get, y'all know I'm fidgety, at about 7 or 8 minutes. When I'm in the bed, though, laying down, I can meditate for about 15 minutes. I can meditate for 15 minutes and go right to sleep. So I explained this. I'm just going to go to the visual because I'm going to give you guys an idea of what I mean. My visual place, imagine you're in a tropical rainforest and that you have instilled roots growing from underneath your feet. Imagine you standing on the ground in the rainforest. Roots in your feet come up to your body, around your lower legs, to your knees, grounding you. Being visual, believe this. Keep looking at it and keep telling yourself that that's what it is. Whether you know it or not, that's how we even like fall in love. We look at people and we see what we wanted to see. We repeat that to ourselves over and over until we make it true. And then sometimes they kill our dream and let us know that that's not what was true. So use that same gift that you have to give someone else love, give yourself love. So get really in there, really feel it. You'll start to feel your body may go through certain changes. You may feel coolness when you visualize a breeze. You may feel the droplets when you visualize. Our brains are very, very smart. Imagine that your roots are moist, fed, and nourished just as you are. Attach yourself visually to living on this earth. I don't know what's that. Next, imagine that you are in the tropical. Oh, hold on. That's a double. I gotta fix that. Imagine this being your zenful home. In this forest, you can imagine there's a sun shower. I particularly, like I said, like positivity. Rainforests are a bit of a dark element, I guess. Tall trees sometimes. So I always see myself looking up and seeing the rays of sun. I like seeing the rays of sun hitting my skin. I even see it on my skin in my visual effect. Soak that up. Soak that up. I can see birds chirping. I see birds on the branches. They're chirping. Those are things that you can, because sometimes saying focus on one thing or nothing may not be enough. And so the one thing should be positivity. So now if you're in this make-believe place in your imagination, that's helping you create a calmness in your mind, body, and spirit. Everything that we see is going to be positive. Everything is going to be in light. It's going to make us feel alive. Know that you belong here. You are part of this godly living earth. Your abilities include absorbing all positive things around you. I'm going to say it includes absorbing things around you. God put us here, whatever your belief system is, you know that we absorb our surroundings. If we are in a room full of angry people, we may start to be angry. If we surrounded ourselves with life and trees, and if we walk into a greenhouse full of plants, we may feel very uplifted, free, alive. That's why they say if you walk out on the grass barefoot, whatever your visual effect idea is, let that resonate. Focus on your breathing while you're there. After a while, I've said all of this, but this is embedded in my head, y'all. This is my Zen. I've just shared with y'all what I personally see when I do my focal meditation. So I'm no longer even thinking about it. I might see a toucan. I don't know how imaginative you guys are, but I might see a toucan a day, and another day it might be some other kind of bird. Usually it's like hummingbirds, bluebirds, little small birds, I imagine being in the rainforest. I don't know if that's right, but you guys find what it is for you. Find it, create it, and nobody else is there. No kids, no lovers, nobody is in this space. It is you and this earth, God the most. Animals, cool. Nobody else there, because you include somebody else and you go through some stress with them, you may not, and that's it for this. Yep. Give me one moment. Did you lay down? I thought you were laying down and taking it. I want you to make some cupcakes. Bella, go back in the room, baby, okay? Okay. I'm listening. Go lay down. It's not time anyway. You finish your sandwich? Okay. So now I wanted to do a guided meditation. Is there anybody, I actually want some feedback. Any questions, anything that I didn't address that you guys commonly have an issue with meditation?
Can my meditation place be like a desert island with no people? Because I know you said about the earth and stuff, but what if my calm place is on a desert island with no people and just sand and the water? Water for me.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like sun, you like a lot of sun, open space, and you like sand, then that would be great. That would be disastrous for me. The sand drives me crazy. But for you, if you love it, if it's a place that you love, yeah. And the no people is a heavy suggestion on the no people in your Zen. When you make this visual Zen space for you to do your meditation, there's nobody there, I promise you. Nobody, no kids, no babies, nothing. Anybody has any other questions, anything? All right, so, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do a short meditation. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything that I skipped over?
Will you send us a copy of your notes? Because I forgot to take my book downstairs and I kept trying to get it, but she was needing me.
Yes, so you guys book, I am gonna give you guys okay. You guys are gonna
Okay,
have,
thank you.
the video will be available so you guys can rewatch at your time. I'm not sure what it, all right, now, oh man, you know what? No, this is perfect. So I'm gonna play a meditation. There are two styles that I listen to that I'm gonna suggest for you guys. One is like an affirmation style. I didn't I don't know the styles of guided meditation, but affirmations where a person is just spitting out positive affirmation. You listen to it one or two good times without being in a meditative space so that you know that you're comfortable with everything being said. But I suggest Londrell is someone who gives some really good affirmations. I'll be honest, his voice is a little bit irritating to me. So I listen to him maybe like during the shower, but not when I want to be peaceful. Um, peacefulness, no, peacefulness will just be on YouTube. Because even with the other women I listen to, Tony Jones, it's a lot of affirmations. So affirmations, it's like a guided affirmation type of, you repeat it to yourself, you repeat after them, and you keep repeating after them.
I do like your voice. So would you do a do an affirmation?
I do. Well, the thing is that first of all, I offer that. I just am really poor at, but some people have meditation videos for me. It is something that I offer. I can do guided now, and I'll play some white sounds. No, I'll play some water. I like water. I like water. Let's do some water. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to. Let me mute. I'm gonna mute everybody. All right. So if you guys can join in, if not, then it's fine. At least I'm giving you guys a good example of meditation. We'll do this for 3 to 5 minutes. First, I do want to start off with, you guys see I have my own interruptions here. So start off with being comfortable. Your back, you are supposed to sit upright. It hurts me to sit fully upright, so I sit in a comfortable upright position, if you know what I mean. I do place my hands in my lap. Both hands you can have your hands open like this to receive more positive energy. You can do meditative styles. I'm going to be doing this, okay, in my lap. So remember what I said. It's one thing or nothing. As of right now, I would like us to just focus on our breathing, one of the most important parts. So we're going to do 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, okay? Ready? breathing. If you've broken concentration already, forgive yourself and keep focusing on the breaths. Allow any negative thoughts to flow through your body. Allow peace to overcome those thoughts. You are in control of your body. You are in control of your mind. During meditation, there's nothing else that's more important than yourself. Focusing on your breaths, breathe in and out. Affirmations that you can repeat to yourself, such as, I create my own destiny. I do what's best for me. I do what's best for me is one of my favorite. I do what's best for me. Breathe that in. Do what's best for me. Again, if you break concentration, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and keep going. Okay. Okay, that was 3 minutes. Or 4. Okay. Penelope, I see you have somebody all over you. Guys, I say the serenity prayer. I've mentioned it before. I'll say it now. And if you guys like it, it's something that maybe you can add to the end of your meditation. The serenity prayer goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'll say it again. It's God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That helps me be aware. Awareness is one of my biggest, I don't know how you would say it, but I owe it to my awareness for the amount of growth that I've had. And so I definitely push you guys to do the same. Does anybody have any questions? It's Raven. Yeah, it's Raven. We hear your music, Raven. Okay. Anyone else have questions about anything? I hope you guys would.
So I tend to, Desiree is Demaria. I tend to listen. I like a lot of flute, like I would say, I'm not gonna say Indian, but like a lot of instrumental when I'm meditating, or it gets me like into a quiet space and a deep train of thought to clear my mind and ease. And I don't hear a lot of that type of music on YouTube, like with the voice that follows through. And so like I have to like kind of ease myself and work myself down to get myself to listen and be at ease. I don't know what type of music, like the, it has like the flutes playing. So it's like I guess, you know what I'm talking about? Like I like the chimes.
There is, so first of all, there are specific sounds for every, for my chakras, there are specific sounds. Do you know about that?
No.
Okay. Oh man, I'm losing what is, it's frequency. It's about frequency. So let me see, maybe I can, because it's probably that you don't know how to search it. You guys are seeing me because my video froze.
Yes, I can still see you.
Okay. That means my Wi-Fi is off on the sound frequency. Let me look it up really quick, and then I'm gonna play. I mentioned that guy Landrell. I don't know if you heard of him. I think he has some of those instruments in the beginnings of his affirmation meditation, which may be more of what you're looking for.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it real quick. What did I say?
I even have like a Pandora channel as well for meditation, and some frequency does like pop up like the music sounds but no guided, so like I lose that. But my grandmother had taught me as well, like with the candle, and to focus like 5 minutes, just look at the light of the candle.
Yeah. So the one thing or nothing, the one thing can like I suggested the closing box, because for me, I take it. But back before, I used to stare at a dot on the wall, like an old pen in the wall or whatever. You can find that. But yep, the candle flame. I think it's this. So you may need to look up what kind of frequency it is that you are drawn to. But typed in frequency, sound frequency guided meditation.
I will. I'll do that this evening. I'm writing this down too.
Let me see. Yeah. She's still talking. She's still saying it at the time. So this one probably doesn't have enough sounds for you, right?
Right.
So the different sounds here are the different frequencies. So I'm thinking about the bowls. Do you like those?
Yes. My grandmother, she has some too, and I love it when she does it.
That's this. So that's see this. So they're different frequencies that our brains operate on, and these sounds help us with certain frequencies, and each sound is even affiliated with certain chakras. So if you are struggling with confidence, there's a specific sound for confidence, and it'll be found with these bowls. But yeah, so I typed in sound frequency guided meditation, and they have like the hertz and things like that. I don't know the details of that, but I feel like this might be along the lines of what you're looking for. And then I wanted to play something else. Oh my goodness, his voice.
That's soothing.
Yeah.
But he'll wake me up in the morning like that.
Wow, his voice was really deep. Yeah, there's so many different frequencies.
Okay, so that's why I needed to check frequencies.
Frequencies, yes. And I want to play something really quick, and you see, I've been getting into like this hip hop beat meditation where it's no words, but it has like a soft, slow beat, and it has like some good instrumental. That I listen to that while I'm working though. While I'm working, who did I say? Landrell. Yeah, Landrell. So these are the instruments that I'm thinking of. I think in this song.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's very smooth and just me getting up and just walking around the house and just listening to that. But it's me being still in another room.
And then here's the guiding. So,
Oh.
first of all, he sounds like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
His name is Mondrell.
Okay.
A bunch of meditation. This is what the album is like. Self-care package is my favorite. But he has a new meditation as well, a new album for chakras. So this album I'll listen to all the way through. This one that's playing now is for the root chakra.
That one, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Mine was close. Yep.
So, but girl, a lot of people. That's home. That's a lot of life is working on home stability and things like that. So yeah, that's on Apple Music. I don't know what you use to listen to music.
Yep, I have Apple too.
So so it's up there. It's up there. And if you like that, no, I'm not gonna. Tony Jones does affirmation style mantra. It's not meditative though. It's more affirmation. It's more uplifting, motivating, get you going.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Tony Jones.
yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll put it in that the lesson for you guys. All right, y'all. So I'm pretty much done here. If anybody else has any questions, anything y'all want to know, so we end up having 5 people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. Let me put Penelope in here. All right, guys. I may go live in a little bit. I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm thinking about having like another class, like have different levels. Like let this be like introduction.
Mm-hmm.
I do have like this website I've been working on, sort of like an academy where I can put all of these things up there and you guys can just go at your own pace. All right, love and light, y'all. Have a blessed day. I hope your holidays were okay.
Thank you. I hope yours was well.
I do want to talk to you a little bit more because I know like your anxiety is like, well, I feel like I want to address the anxiety part a little bit more with you personally. Yes.
Okay, let me leave. I'm leaving. Hold on.
I'm not here, but in a few minutes, I wanted to address the anxiety part to help you with your meditation.
Okay. Sorry, by the way, I've been up and down like a yo-yo between the TV.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. I'll send over the file and you guys will have access to the video. Be blessed. See y'all later.
See ya.
Thank you guys.